Hello guys, first of all I welcome you all to this Python interview question series. We are in the set 3. In the previous set we have already looked upon some of the most important interview questions and we are continuing with that trend in the set 4 as well. So let's get started. So the first question of today's session is, what are the comments and how can we add the comments in Python? Okay, so the comments in Python refers to a piece of a text intended for information. Okay, and especially relevant when you are more than one person works on the set of a code. It is used to analyze code, leave feedback and debug it. And there are generally two ways we can just comment the things. First is a single line comment and there is one multi-line comment as well. Okay, so if I just go back to my Python collab notebook, so here you can see that I have imported certain libraries here, and along with that I have written some comments so that user will know how the piece of code or piece of a code is doing into the greater in the greater context. Also I have written some of the multi-line comment as well, and for the multi-line comment we will use the single triple quote or double triple quote. So if you are using the double quotes only, then it will throw an error. Let me just remove one quote from here and remove one quote from here as well. Then you will see there are some error is there. So let me just erase all those stuff. This is how you can just comment these things out and basically describe what the code is doing, so that the debugging is possible, so that the new users who are working on the previous code may know what the piece of code is doing in the greater model. Okay, so let me just go with the other questions we have. What is a dictionary in Python, and give an example. So dictionary is the collection of items. So item is nothing but the pair of key values with in no particular order. Python dictionaries are written in a curly brackets with the keys and values. Dictionary are optimized to retrieve the values for known keys. So basically it's a data structure or a data storage format in the Python. So let me just create a dict. Okay, dict underscore, it's a variable name, and let me just take curly braces, and in the curly braces I am mentioning the items, and items is nothing but the key value here. So this is my column name called id, and these are some of my values. Like, so let me have some values. 101 is there, 102 is there, and 103 is there. And again the column 2 contains something like price. Okay, price. So I have a list of prices there. Okay, I have a list of prices there like 100, 200 and 300. So this is how you can just create the dict. If I wanted to print the dictionary right now, so let me just print out the dictionary as well, dict underscore, and let me try to execute the cell. Yeah, I am getting the dictionary. To check if it is really a dictionary object or not, we can just print. Okay, we can just do one thing here. Let me just take this one as well and quote it with respect to the print statement. Okay, this is my print statement I have, and again I am just doing one thing, printing those stuff, and let me just take the type of it, check the type of it, type of dict as well. Clear? So this is, let me just try to execute this stuff. Okay, so here is a dict object we have. Clear? So this is how we can just create the dictionary and just form the dictionary with the key value pairs, right? Next question, what is the difference between the tuple and dictionary we have? Okay, so one major difference between the tuple and dictionary is that a dictionary is mutable while the tuple is not. Means what? Dictionary can be growable, we can add the key value pairs over there. There is one slight a rule for that, we will discuss on that. Next thing is that the meaning. Okay, so the meaning of the content of the dictionary can be changed. Yes, that's we are talking about changing it suddenly, but the tuple it's not possible. Okay, so in the previous sessions we already know that tuple is immutable, and we also know that why it is immutable in nature. And also we can see that dictionary is mutable, but the thing is that there is one intricate detail is that we cannot duplicate the key, but we can duplicate the values. So these are one rule we must follow with respect to the dictionaries as well. So this is primarily the difference between the tuples and dictionary. There is one another difference with respect to syntax we have. So tuple can be surrounded by the parentheses or square braces, we can say that, not square but parentheses, and then just we can surround the dictionary or create the dictionary with respect to the curly braces. These are the steps we have. Again, these are the some of high level differences between the tuples and dictionary we have. Next. Okay, next question for the session is find out the mean, median and standard deviation of the numpy array. So we have given one numpy array is there, okay, and we have to find out the mean, median, mode. So in order to find out the mean, median, mode and standard deviation, we can use the inbuilt method of the numpy as well. So it's called as np.mean, np.median and np.standard deviation. So std is there, and we are just passing that array which are given there, and we will get the value. Let me just go and copy this thing, go into my environment, and let me create one array here, okay, and the array contain this code right now. Okay, array contain this code. I have to perform certain operations over there, okay. So let me just try to print the np dot, let's suppose mean of, I'm just passing the array here, okay. Also I just wanted to do this for mean, median, and we also have the mode as well, mean, median, mode and standard deviation, which is STD, okay. So this is how we can just access all of those kind of a statistical information. With respect to that, we have a variance as well if you want. We just take this one. So variance as well if you want. Let me just try to execute this thing, okay, and we will get the attribute mode. Okay, let me just go here and erase those things. Let me just try to execute this thing again. Okay, we will get some mean is there, median is there, standard deviation and variance of these data points we have. Clear? So this is how we can just get the statistical information with respect to the any array or any list of values. Clear? Next question we have for the session, what is classifier? Okay, a classifier is used to predict the class of any data point. Classifier are the special hypotheses that are used to assign the class label to any particular data point. A classifier often uses training data to understand the relationship between the input variable and the class. Classification is a method used in supervised machine learning we have, okay. So classifier just classify the data whatever the categories belongs to, and just according to that it will form some groups. So it's a ML related concept we have here, okay. Next question we have, how do you get the list of all the keys in the dictionary? Okay, let's suppose you are created some dictionary like here, and I wanted to get the keys. Then we have a dict.keys method is there, and what this return is just a keys in that dictionary. So let me just go here and let me just try to copy this code, okay, and go into my environment and add this code, and I wanted to get something like that. Let me just format this thing again quickly. Okay, so these are some characters, not a variable, okay. So right now my dictionary is created and I wanted to get the keys. So key underscore is equal to dict dot keys is the method, okay. And if I try to execute print dot key, let me try to execute that thing. I am getting the keys, but is in the different format. If I wanted into the list format, just convert this thing into the list as well by using the built-in functions we have, okay. Right now I'm again try to execute that code cell. I'm getting the list of values here. Clear? That's how we can get the keys as well. So for value, if I wanted to get the values associated with it, then we have a values function as well, okay. So dict that values is there, and let me just copy the stuff, control V those things, and just replace the variable name here, okay. And if I just execute again this thing, let me just given the key and values as well. So next question we have for the day, how can we insert an element at a given index in Python? Okay, so let's suppose you have a list of values are there, okay. Let's suppose you have a list of values are there. I wanted to insert some of the records over there. So you can just use the built-in insert method for that. So we have a built-in insert method for that, and the syntax is like list name be there. So we have a insert method is there, then we can specify at what index which element want to insert it. Okay, let me just go here again, and let's just demonstrate that result we have. Let's just demonstrate what it means. So list, I'm just creating one list here. So for quickly, for every I in range from 1 to 10 we have, and I wanted to insert that thing here. So it's comprehension I have right now. So my list is created. Okay, I wanted to insert something in that list. So list dot insert. Okay, list dot insert at what index. So I want at index 5 I want to insert the value 888. Okay, 888 I wanted to insert, and just wanted to print out whatever the result I want. So let me just execute this thing. So at index 5 0 1 2 3 4, and at index 5 I'll get the 888 right now. Clear guys? So this is how we can just insert the element at the specified index using the built-in method. Okay, next question we have for the day: how will you remove duplicate elements from the list? Okay, it's a most frequently asked question guys. It's a most important interview questions as well. There are many methods available to solve these questions. We will look into that. Okay, first of all, there are let's suppose they given you a list which contains different repetitive elements. Then you can just make a sort function in use, or if they just said you don't use a sort function, there is another way is that we'll discuss the two ways how can you just remove the duplicate from the list. Okay, let me just go here my environment. Okay, and create one dupe list. Okay, dupe list is there, and the dupe list is also I'm using the list comprehension in range of. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is that let me just create one duplicate list using the numpy. Okay, so np dot random dot randint. So randint is there. I want 1 to 9, and I want something 20 such values. Okay, 20 such values. Let me just try to print the duplicate list here. Okay, let me just try to print the duplicate list here. So these are my duplicate lists. Here you can see that 7 is duplicated many times, 4 is duplicated many times. Okay, 3s are duplicated. So I want to get a unique list from that. So what I'm trying to do is that, so first method is a simple method. You can use the set. So set is an unordered collection of unique element. Okay, unordered collection of unique element we have. So unique list 1 is equal to set of, okay, set is the built-in data type we have, and in there we can just pass the duplicate list. Okay, duplicate list, and again I'm just wanted to convert this into the list as well, so that my final output is in the list format. So unique list 1, and let me try to execute this thing. So I'm getting the unique list 2 3 4 5 7 8. So these are the unique elements I have. Okay, there is another method is there. If suppose the interviewer asks you don't use the built-in set method, then how can you do that? Okay, so how can you do that? So for that we use the for loop. Okay, so that we can use the for loop. So unique list is there. Unique list 2 is equal to, I am initializing the empty list which can take the unique value. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is that, so for every I in duplicate list. Okay, so let me just take the duplicate list I have. Okay, let me just duplicate list I have. For every I in duplicate list, if I not in unique underscore list of 2 lst of 2, then unique underscore list dot append of this I. So this is how you can just create all those kind of stuff. Okay, and let me just again type it down here, a unique underscore list 2. We try to execute this thing. So okay, I'm getting the similar stuff. Okay, I'm getting the similar stuff with respect to that as well. Okay, so these are the two ways you can just get rid of the duplicate elements from the list. Okay, just move what the other questions we have for the day. Okay, so what is recursion? What is recursion is Python? Recursion is a function calling itself. If the function is calling itself, then we will call it as a recursion. Then we have a one very important condition: a recursive function should have to be used in the program. It should terminate, else there is a problem in the infinite loop. If the function continuously calling itself, then it is called as a recursion. And in order to write the recursion code, we need to have a terminating condition. If you don't have any terminating condition, then it will infinitely just calling itself again and again, and it's called as recursion we have in the Python. Next question we have for the day: explain the Python list comprehension. Okay, so list comprehension or Python list comprehension is an shorthand or beautiful way of writing a concise list or creating the concise list in the Python or in the Python in anywhere. Okay, so it is just one-liner code by which we can just create the Python lists. Okay, let me just split out some of the differences we have with respect to that. Okay, let's suppose I wanted to create a Python list which contains the even number from 1 to 20. Okay, so I'm just initializing one list here. Okay, initializing an empty list which contains the even number. Okay, which contains the even number. For that, what I'm trying to do is that for every I in a range of 1 to 21, because it is an end minus 1 we have, right? So again, if I percentage of 2, I am checking if it is a divisible by 2 or not, and if it is returns the remainder as a 0, then it is an even number, then it should append that number to the list. Okay, it should append that number to the list. So this is how we can just get the even number between 1 to 20. Just try to execute this thing. Okay, so I'm getting this thing, but for that code I'm utilizing this much amount of space, this much amount of like 1 2 3 4 5 lines of code we have, right? 5 lines of code where we can write this same code in the single line using the list comprehension. How can I do that? So even list. Okay, even list. So what I'm trying to do is that for every I in range 1 to 21, okay, 1 to 21, if I %2 equals 0, if the condition satisfies, then put the I into the list. So my even number list is created. So let me just try to execute this code. Okay, so I am getting same kind of output over again in just a one line, and this is the very elegant and beautiful way of writing the code in Python. Okay, so this is how we can just utilize the list comprehension for creating the lists. Okay, so next question we have: what is a bytes function in Python? So byte function returns the bytes object. It is used to convert the object into the byte object or create an empty byte object of a specified size. So it's an built-in function to convert the object here and there, specifically any object, into the bytes format. Okay, so next question we have for the day: what are the different types of operators in Python? Okay, there are many types of operators. We have arithmetic operators are there, then we have a relational operators are there, assignment operators are there, logical operators are there, membership operators are there, identity operators are there, and bitwise operators are there. These are the broader level category. In the arithmetic, we will find some of the common arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplications. Addition has a dual nature. It is do the concatenation as well as addition, depending on the value it finds when doing the operations. We also have a division and modulus as well. In the relationship or relational operators, we have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to, and double equal to as well. Okay, we have assignment operators are there. So assignment operators are nothing but, or we can say compound operators are there, plus equals or minus equals, division equals, modulo equals. These are the assignment operators. Then we have a logical operators are there, something and, or and not. Then we have a membership operator, in and not in are there. Identity operators are there, which is nothing but is and is not, is operator is there. So in, not in, and is not, these are the two operators we have. And then we have a bitwise operator like bitwise and, bitwise or, left shift, right shift operators are there. So these are the different operators are there. And what is operators? Operators are the special symbol used for used to do some of the operations we have, right? So these are the things are there with respect to the operators we have. Okay, next question we have for the day, what is the with statement? Okay, so the with statement in Python is used for exceptional handling. Okay, exception handling. A file can be opened and closed while executing a block of code containing the with statement. Without using the close function, it is essentially make the code much easier to read. Okay, so with statement is basically used with the exception handling we have, and it just simplifies our coding experience. Next question we have for the day, what is the map? Okay, the final question we have for the day right now. Okay, so what is the map? Okay, so map is a function in Python used for applying a function on a given iterable objects. It is consists of the two parameter. It will first take an iterable object. Okay, so it will first take an function and then an iterable object and map those function with respect to that iterable object. Okay, so let's just understand the functionality of map function here. Let me just go into my environment here. Okay, go into my environment here, and then what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to create one list object. Okay, list object L is equals to, okay, I have a list object for every I in range of, let's suppose 20 I have. Just taking one I here. This is my list object is created, and what I'm trying to do is that taking one res variables and list, okay, and map. Okay. What I'm trying to map, I want some functions, so we can use the lambda function here. Okay, so let me just do one lambda function here. So lambda x, and let's suppose I want to do the square of the stuff. So let me just take this x and square it up. So this is my lambda function I have. Okay, and it will take one iterable object right now. So what is the iterable object? So iterable object is nothing but the L we have, right? L we have. So right now let me try to execute this res variable here. Okay, I am getting the square of each of the stuff. So 1, 4, 9. So all of the squares I am getting here. So this is how the map function works. It will take one function and apply to each iterable, each element in the iterable object. Clear, guys? So this is the final question we have for the today's sessions. We will meet in the next sessions with the more interview question related to Python. Till then, have a nice day.